All right, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? How is you doing? How is your family? Just, but no, seriously, how y'all doing? I'm just being silly this morning. Welcome to Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DMP Speaks. I'm so glad and excited to be in front of you on this wonderful Tuesday morning, the first. What's that? Tuesday morning? Yeah, I gotta get my days straight. It's Thursday, isn't it? Oh my goodness, it's going so fast. I can't keep up, y'all, and I'm only 39, about to be 40 this year. Y'all pray for me. Pray for my strength. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome. If you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. My name is David M. Pinkston, but I go by the name of DMP Speaks. I am an empowerment speaker. I am a board certified Christian counselor and a family coach, life coach as well for individuals. I come on here every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you some information and some inspiration for your family. Because I believe every family deserves transformation. So welcome, welcome, and welcome again. Please do me a favor. As you come on this live, let me know where you're watching from, what city, what state, what country, wherever you are in the world. Please let me know, because I am building something that I've never had before. I'm building a community of family that is looking, that is searching for more on how to parent better their teen, young adult, or adult child, to bring that family closer together. That is my focus. My focus used to be little ones, but I felt like I am more at an advantage for families to work with their middle school, high school, teens and tweens, young adults, and their adult children, because there are a lot of families out there, thousands of families, that don't have the connection that they should have with their teen, young adult, or their adult child. And I am here in the greater Atlanta area and all over the world when it comes to internet, which we thank God for internet and the World Wide Web, to be able to connect your family back together. I have a program called the Family Transformation Program. It's a 12-week program that I believe is going to help your family reconnect and transform like never before. So what I want to talk about today, and I'm going to give you some information at the end of this show, what I want to talk about for a few moments is the topic, being mentally disconnected from your teen. Again, the topic is today, this morning, being mentally disconnected from your teen. We sometimes, as parents, including myself, I never leave myself up when I'm talking about these things, because everything that I talk about is from experience, or some experience that I've heard or seen or researched. So it's nothing just out of my head. It's all the stuff that I have seen, I researched, somebody told me about, and I like to, do a reflection on every day, and have a conversation about it. So again, please share this with someone, because I believe it's going to help. Now, being mentally, we could deal with the emotional piece tomorrow, but being mentally disconnected. I wrote this down. I wrote some things down, so just bear with me. But I want to make a point. There needs to be an emotional attachment and growth at home. Let's start there. We have to have an emotional attachment at home and growth at home. Because if your child cannot find that, I call it the happy place, but it's more than a happy place, that peace, Peace, that peace place at home, that they can literally be themselves and be accepted by you as the parent or guardian. If they can't have that emotional attachment to you while they're in the home, by God, they're going to find a way to be emotionally attached. Boys and girls, your teens, your young adults, maybe some of your adult children were disconnected emotionally from you. Because if they cannot find it in the home, I promise you, I put money on it, they're going to find another way to be emotionally attached to someone. A lot of times for young girls, it's other girls, but it's also other guys. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You have to be that emotionally awake to know if they're not getting what they need emotionally in your home, they're going to find somewhere to be emotionally attached to. That's why we have a lot of teens that are in gangs, and girls too. Promiscuous sex going on with your young ladies and your young men, right? Running the streets, being sneaky, not talking, but doing other things behind your back because they have that emotional attachment, attachment to that person, to that group, because they feel like they belong somewhere. So if they're not having that in your home, where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go somewhere else. And if they feel that they're not emotionally attached to you, they're going to attach themselves in other ways. They're going to find where they can fulfill that lost spot, that empty spot, because they're not getting it at home. And I know this is true because the way I used to parent, I would be so fixated and focused on my business and what I'm doing, and even church. I was so involved. There were times that I, not intentionally, but unintentionally, until I started recognizing what I was doing, I wasn't spending enough of time with my son. He was in the home, but we had lost contact. I'm not afraid to say it. We lost contact and it was not working. We would talk, but it wasn't enough. So I realized even more this year, you got to spend more time with him. He's getting older. Your son or daughter is getting older. You have to spend more time with your teen. You got to be emotionally attached to them to help them understand, to help them know that I accept you for who you are. Does that make sense? Because teens and young adults, they long for that emotional connection between you and them. They're learning from you, of course, but you should be learning from them. You might say, well, how do you learn from your child if you're teaching them? Well, they're teaching you how to treat them. They're teaching you who they are so that you will love them for them. Do you know how many teens that are out there right now, they are not loved and they don't feel the love because that parent or guardian is not showing it? They have no emotional attachment. They hear I love you, but they don't see it. They don't feel it. Your teens have to be able to feel that you love them, right? You have to be so focused on emotionally attaching yourself to your son or daughter because you will lose them. We got to have a connection. We got to have a better connection every day, every week, especially how the world is right now. I'm getting this camera and say this, how the world is right now. We have to do a better job, and I mean a better job, connecting with our son or daughter, especially if they're in their early teens, mid-teens, young adult, or even going into adulthood. You have to be on top of them. Because if you are not on top of them, somebody else is feeding them, and you don't even know what they are feeding your child. You got to be on top of them just that much. And we must develop a capacity for our children, not only for them to learn from us, And again, we must learn from them. We must learn who they are. We must learn how they react. Yes, we know we birth them, we change their diapers, but they evolve. Remember, they change. When they get around 12 or 13, they start to change, to get into those teens. They start smelling themselves, literally. They start smelling themselves and they have their own personality, but you have to be able to grow that emotional attachment. You have to be able to grow that personality, that character. You have to be able to pour into them constantly, not just here or there. You have to be able to pour into them. And I wrote this down. We must learn from them how to connect on a deeper level and a stronger level. We have to take time to understand what's going on in their minds and not just assume. I gave you a lot there. Let's slow down for a moment. I'm gonna say this again. We must learn from them how to connect on a deeper level. We have to have a deeper conversation. We need to have a deeper relationship. We cannot just do surface anymore. How's school going and just be about your business. You have to say, okay, what was great about school? What did you learn today? Did you have any difficulties? Yes, this is some extra work, but it's going to be beneficial in the long run because they're going to see, man, they're really caring about. Let me see your work. Okay, you did good here. Let's work on your penmanship, or let's work on studying a little bit more, because you would have been able to get that if you would have read. But I'm thankful for what you did. I'm just giving you an example. We have to do better in these areas. I sat long and hard and I thought about this. I said, in order for me to help families, what are families dealing with when it comes to their teen? Well, one of the things that we're going to talk about this year is that emotional attachment. And I'll go further into it because I'm going to be doing a mastermind very soon. I'll give you some information. It's coming out very soon because as I started, I sat for the last 2 or 3 weeks and I started really thinking, I started really praying. I'm like, Lord, what am I really supposed to be working with families on? It's more than just loving each other. There is a disconnect when it comes to their teen and young adults and their adult children. Even with adult children, I could probably sit with 10 of you right now that have kids and you wish, you prayed, you hoped for an emotional attachment. Sometimes just getting a hug, just saying, hey, I hear you. Some of you never got that, and your parents are still alive, or your parents are gone on, and you didn't have that opportunity. And because you didn't have that opportunity, it has left uh, a scar in your heart and in your mind because you long for that emotional attachment. And because you didn't get that, that kind of it hindered your parenting. It probably even hindered your relationship. But let me say this to you. If you have an opportunity, I'm talking about to the adult children as well. If you're an adult and you are somebody's child and your parent is still here and you still want to have a better relationship with them, I want to let you know transformation is here. My family transformation program is here for you to serve you and your parent to have a better emotional attachment. It is very important to have that in these days and times because life is so short. And you want to be able to fix things, not just cover it over, just put a blanket over it and never do nothing with it. We got to do something about it. Don't let it be said too late because you didn't want to work on it and you let years and years and years go by and you never worked on your relationship. Don't you want better for you and your team? Don't you want to have an emotional attachment that you can never have? Don't you want your team to open up to you more, to talk to you more, and trust you? So I think I'm going to do a part 2 for tomorrow about emotional attachment. I think that's where we need to stay. We're going to talk about this again. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm going to show you some information about the program. Listen, listen, listen. It's never too late, because I believe every family deserves transformation. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is Family Morning Transformation with yours truly, DMP Speaks. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.